Hi, I'm Gene Cavazis. I recently ordered a drill storage rack from Amazon for 50 bucks, and I really wasn't expecting much because I'm thinking, can that even be made out of real wood? So I was surprised when it arrived, and it was all wood. But it came in full kit form, but it made me start thinking, could I buy the lumber and build one as cheap, if not cheaper, than ordering one that you still have to put together? So let's get started. So as soon as I start to unpackage this, it comes in pieces, you have to assemble it, and the first piece out of the box is broken. Now I don't feel like sending it back, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it back together. It's a clean break, and I'm going to use just some standard Titebond wood glue, but because I want to get working with this quicker, I'm going to use Starbond CA glue along with the accelerator. Now this stuff is it's super glue, and so it'll allow me to add the two of these together on the application and start assembling this right away. I just hope I don't glue my fingers back together again. So because I wanted to see if I could build this for less money out of wood, I went ahead and I picked up a sheet of laminated wood that was 1 inch, which is actually like 3/4 of an inch, by 20 inches by 4 feet, and it was under $20. I should be able to get enough of the pieces out of that to build this, minus a couple of small pieces that you can use, either some scrap if you have it, or you could buy a 5x6 board that will run around $7. That still puts you at $27, and it's quite a bit less, and you can build it the way you want. One of the first things I noticed was the openings for the drills are not the same size straight across. The two outside ones are the widest, and they're about 1 3/8 of an inch, but the others go all the way down to 1 1/4. And when I would try to slide a drill or an impact wrench in there, they would not hang straight because of the forward and reverse switches on these drills. So I've decided I'm going to open those up or trim them out a little wider. I'm going to go ahead and use my bandsaw, but you could do the same thing with the jigsaw and just make them a little bit wider so that this will fit. Now I'm going to speed through the cutting these out and sanding them and even staining them, because you know that drill. So now it's time to start putting this thing together. But before I do, I'm going to take some measurements for reference. So assembly of this is pretty straightforward, and using their little handy dandy sheet that it came with, I'll follow it in the same order that it shows it being put together. Now that I've got it done, I'm going to go ahead and install it, mainly so I can get it out of the way and start on the other project. I'm now going to start laying out all the pieces that I need to cut and the quantities included with that. As I finish doing the layout, I'm going to move that over and start doing all the measurements down on the wood itself so I can nest those to get the most out of the cuts. If you'd like a cut sheet of the material sizes and how I cut it out on that 20 by 4 foot board, send me your email address and I'll shoot you a free PDF of it, and I'll put my email address down in the description below. Taking them to the table saw, we're going to cut out our wood. They talk about measure twice, cut once. That's always a good idea. One of the things too, if you're working in a small shop, being able to hook up your tools like the table saw or the sander to the vacuum makes a huge difference. It keeps that dust down and makes your cleanup so much easier. Now that all the pieces are cut, I'll set them on the table to make sure I have everything. And special thanks to the shop cat for all of his help. On a side note, I wish I would have turned those shelves around so that I could have gotten the grains going the direction of the shelf rather than to the front of it. It would have just made those shelves stronger. We'll be fine, but it's one that I wish I would have thought about before I cut those out. Also included is that $7 5x6 board that I used to cut all the remaining pieces. I'm also going to be adding a slot in the side so that you can add an extension cord into the top shelf for your chargers. So now giving some of these pieces a once over with the sander. I'm not going to spend a lot of time sanding all these pieces, just mainly because it's a shelf that's going in my shop, but you can put as much time into it as you want. Now on my build, I'm not going to use screws in it. In fact, what I'm going to use is air staples. I think they'll show less, hold up better, and I can use that and some of the Star Bond glue to help me assemble this a lot quicker. Now I took a piece of scrap wood and I cut it 3 3/8 of an inch to use as a template to help me space all of those dividers evenly. This worked out really well. So we're good. I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to flip this over like that. Now we're going to add the backboards, then give it one more once over with the sander, and we're just about good to go. I'm going to add a little bit of my own stenciling to the side of this. If you want to find out more about the $50 vinyl cutter, check out the video up above. Now you can finish your shelf any way you want. I like the look of the light wood, so I'm just going to put a nice quick coat of clear on it. Okay, so to compare the two, the building your own, sure, that takes a little more work. Personally, I like doing that. And heck, you still have to assemble the $50 one, plus it came broke, plus I had to end up trimming out those tool slots so it could hold the right size drills. So my vote goes to building your own for $27 or less. I will put a link down below in the description for all the materials and the tools I used, along with the link to the Amazon shelf if you decide you want to go that way. Hey, I hope you liked this video. If you get a chance, check out some of these other videos, and in the meantime, I'll see you soon.